Hi, welcome back to our channel. This video is going to show you the first week of Nala's Goldendoodle puppies. I'm just going to show you a little bit of the behind the scenes of what we have to do to keep the mom happy and healthy, which in turn gives us some awesome puppies. You can see from the beginning to end of this video that the whelping box got a lot fuller just in a few days. Nala is starting, well, it's Tuesday morning. Puppies were born between Sunday night and Monday morning. And I am getting some food for her prepared today. This is ground venison, and I had an open can of sardines in the fridge, so I'm just throwing that in there. I know that a lot of people feed their dogs raw. I don't. I just like to cook it. So I'm cooking up this hamburger, and then this is a batch of what's commonly known as mother's pudding, but I kind of have my own spin on it. So how I make it is, this is farm fresh goat milk, ice cream, and pudding. And then once it all gets dissolved, then I'm going to add a dozen eggs to it and kind of make a custard out of it. I get goat milk from my friend, and I put it in the freezer, and I just freeze it in these jugs. It's about a half a gallon in here. And so then I have it on hand for when the puppies are born. And normally I have a batch of this made, but since they were early, I'm kind of a little behind the 8 ball getting it prepared. So this morning we are bringing this down to Nala every couple of hours, and then she has a huge bowl of puppy food down there that she can self-serve whenever she wants to. But for the next few days, I pretty much have to bring the bowl and set it in front of her in the whelping box. She doesn't get up very often yet, but she'll start moving around a little bit more here probably towards the end of the week. Okay, so we are to the point now where we are going to add the eggs and make a custard out of this. And again, this is just goat milk, ice cream, and a couple packages of pudding. So we're going to get this process is called tempering. You just slowly add the hot to the eggs so that you don't scramble them. All right, so we're gonna finish cooking this until it thickens a little bit, and then I'll feed this to Nala every couple of hours along with some of the venison so that she gets plenty of calcium and protein and sugar. So this is what Nala's going to eat today. And that's it. Nala, do you want to get up and go outside? I just come down here about every hour, and sometimes there's some littles that get pushed away, so we just take the bigger puppies and move them off and let the little ones do some more nursing and offer her some food and see if we can get her outside. So this guy right here is a little smaller. And we have an open spot, so we're just gonna throw it over there and give it a minute to nudge its way to latch on. Alright, so here I am sitting in the whelping box, and I'm going to try to get that little squirt to latch on. I just gave it a little tiny bit of liver water to kind of get its throat moving, and it's a two-handed project, so I'm going to like stick my pinky in its mouth and kind of milk the teat just so that it gets a little bit of milk. I'm not worried about it thriving, but it's just a little small and it should be eating a little more. And here's that pudding, all nice and thickened, bright yellow, and full of flavor. So I'm just going to put it in the fridge, let it cool off, and go back down in about an hour and give her some. I just brought Nala some of that meat and she ate, and she's outside. So while she's outside, I'm gonna take advantage of, we just put a little bit of this ointment on the end of the puppy's umbilical cords, and I'm gonna change the whelping box pad. It's pretty clean. I gave Nala that shot of oxytocin, and so she cleaned out really well, but there's a few little spots in here, so I'm gonna do this and change these guys, and hopefully before Nala gets back. And I'm just gonna show you, I didn't bring my tripod down here, but I'm just gonna show you, I mean, these guys are pretty durable, so literally I just grab a handful of puppies. Usually I can get 3 or 4 of them, and then I just have this little pad right here that they're gonna go on. Okay, time's running out. Oh yeah, by the way, are you tired yet? It's only 8:20. Nala just went outside to go potty. Look at the colors on these guys. Pretty content for just being, I don't remember what day it is, but I don't think they're over 36 hours old. When our puppies are about 3 days old, we load them up and take them to the vet to have their dew claws removed. It usually goes pretty smoothly, and sometimes I can get Todd to come and chauffeur us. It's just easier. And he even gets my backseat driving. Oop, this semi isn't going through that roundabout. Our vet is Dr. Bowl, and we have been working with him to get our dog shots, dew claws removed, and he has been absolutely fantastic for us. If there's anything that I need, I call him. He always answers the phone. He's always available. He's always so calm and so helpful. There is nothing more priceless than a wonderful partnership with your vet. Just stretching. Nala is eating, it's not very appetizing, but it's mother's pudding along with some kibble and chicken. The mother's pudding, like I said, is eggs, pudding, goat milk, and ice cream cooked together. It has extra sugar, calcium, and just some good hydration so she doesn't get dehydrated, and just she loves it, and so she eats a lot of it. And then I have packs of chicken thighs. Todd shot a deer, so we feed the venison. So I think there's some venison and some boiled chicken thighs and chicken broth in there as well. So it's 8:30. I'm gonna feed her this, and just gonna go outside and go to the bathroom, and then we're gonna try to get a little bit of sleep. While she's eating, I'll just show you. See, we keep these blankets around here because the door is right there, and I don't want any cold air getting in on them. Plus, it gives privacy, and there's they're laying on a heating pad. Oh, the little guy just tipped over. So while she's eating, they're just in here chilling out. You see, there's some spots around. Nala will continue to have spotting for a while, so we'll just keep rotating all these blankets and everything to make sure that we keep a nice clean environment for the puppies and to keep her clean and safe too. So I'm just getting ready for bed. I got my fancy Ritz-Carlton accommodations over there, and this is the end of Wednesday. With all this puppy chaos that was going on, we decided to get Rain a food puzzle treat dispenser, so she is having a good time with that. And it's funny because Duke figured out what was going on too, so when she's playing with it, he sticks pretty close. Good morning. I just wanted to show, whoa, that is these two. Rough housing. These guys, not so much. Anyway, back to this. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how much food Nala has eaten already this week. It's 6:30 on Friday morning. She has eaten, I'm about to make my third batch of mother's pudding, which I talked about is the goat milk, ice cream, eggs, and pudding. This is ground deer meat, and these are probably, I don't know, pound 6 and 7. And then this is just the Costco chicken thighs, and I put these in the oven with in a big pan with water and make like a bone broth chicken soup out of them, and I put that over the puppy food, the Nutrisource puppy food kibble that we use. So just for a view, you know, when these guys have puppies, you don't just set out an extra bowl of dog food. Like, there's a ton of work that goes into it as far as their nutrition. And then she also is on a calcium, it's a whelping calcium paste. They give her a little bit every day. And so this is what we've got. time to go time to go feed Nala. So we are giving Nala some antibiotics that really at this point is just a preventative measure. I'm going to give them to her for a couple of days. Our vet is always really good about helping to make sure that we have what we need to keep our pets safe. Her udder is a little warm. The puppies are keeping up on all of the teats, but I just want to make sure that she doesn't get the beginning of any infection. And you can see there are some spots on the pad here where she is still spotting a little bit. So we want to make sure that we help make stop any infection that we can before it gets too bad. Next week, when the milk really comes in, mastitis is a huge concern. So we will be keeping a very close eye on that. And then I'm just going to pause the video and show you the calcium that we give her. So this is just whelping calcium paste, and it smells kind of coconutty, and she doesn't like the flavor of it. So I just kind of have to shove it in her mouth, just like it smells like sunflower lotion. And I just put it right in the back of her throat. You have to have a really good relationship with your dog if you're going to be doing anything like this. So that little bit of calcium is going to help her. And as you can see, our puppies are very, very content. We do have a small one that I help latch on and make sure that it doesn't get pushed aside every time she's feeding. So next time I hear her start feeding, I'll come down and take a little video to show you what that entails. For right now, we'll let them rest. As I said earlier, Nala is still spotting, so while she's walking around down in the basement, she does sometimes leave marks on the carpet. So I'm kind of a janitor carpet cleaner during this time as well. So when I see that, I just keep a scrub brush and carpet cleaner handy. So if anybody has a carpet cleaner that they want tested out, I'd be happy to help you out, because I definitely have plenty of use for different carpet cleaners right now. Just keep my scrub brush handy and make sure that we keep everything clean. You can start to see the puppies are already gaining weight and taking up more room in the whelping box. So I use my lunch breaks to feed my dogs, and then I bring whatever back to the office to eat for myself. So this is Nala's lunch. It's 6 eggs, a lot of oil, and some venison, because all of the other stuff is still in the sink. I mean, look at this mess. Like, there's always so many dishes and stuff because I'm doing all this extra cooking for the dog. But we're going to eat that. Todd's going to eat that shrimp for supper, but the rest of that is goat milk, and that all needs to be cooked for tomorrow. And so just to get through midday, we're having this venison hamburger and eggs, and I'm heating up something in the air fryer for me, and everybody else is just on their lunch break here as well. So nothing like working from home, taking the lunch break, and cooking for the dogs. A lot of people ask how big your whelping box should be. I would say sit down next to your dog, put your feet out, have your dog lay down next to you, and that's how big your box needs to be, because that's where you're going to be spending a hell of a lot of your time. So I don't know if you can see this little one here. So once she starts nursing, I come down and I can hear her, and I just kind of hold her back. If she wants to lick its bottom, that's fine, but then I am just holding it on to the nipple until it kind of slows down its eating. And as you can see, it's smaller, but it still eats nice and aggressively, but I want to make sure that it doesn't, when everybody else is over there napping. So this is not the best view of what it's usually like, but when everybody else is coming in trying to fight for their spot, this little guy gets pushed away. So usually is what I do is wait until everyone starts eating, and then I'll come and latch this little one onto one of her end nipples and just hold it there and make sure that it gets good and fed. But as you can see, it's nice and strong, and I don't really feel like it's in any danger health-wise, but I do want to make sure that he or she, I'm not sure, that it doesn't get pushed aside and starts to lose any weight. So again, you know, just another thing where you really want to have a good relationship with your dog, because this is really, if you can't get in and help your dog with these puppies and stuff, then it's really makes it more difficult. So we're just going to hang out here until this little one decides that it's had enough to eat, and then I'm going to go upstairs. Somebody in my office smells a little bit like they have BO today, and I'm the only one working in my home office, so I think it's time for a little self-care, probably a shower, change my clothes, and probably clean up those dishes and do the whole thing over again here in a couple hours. Bye.
So here's how I process these thighs. This has been in the oven overnight at 185, and while they're still warm, you want to reach in and pull out. That's why I love doing the thighs, because you don't have to worry about all these extra bones. You can just grab out the bones, and then after you get all the bones out of there, you just grab it with your tongs and shred it up and stir it around.
So we are doing ENS, which is early neurological, I can't say it, neurological stimulation. And so what you do is you take your puppy and you lay it on your back and count to 5, and this is a good time too, because then we can keep an eye on their umbilical cords and everything else. So on its back for 5 seconds, up, upside down, and then you just usually use a Q-tip, but I just use my finger and just rub on each one of their little toes. And then you're supposed to have a cold washcloth to put them on as like a temperature thing, but I don't do that. So here you go. There's the little squirt. Thanks for watching our video. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can see what we're up to next.